Hi, my name is Shrikant Idam and welcome to SIDM Techie channel. So today topic is OSI reference model. So OSI stands for Open System Interconnection Model. So how exactly it works? Today we are going to discuss about it. So OSI it was developed by the International Organization for Standardization in 1974. Okay, this OSI model consists of 7 layers and each layer has a different and specific processing function. So how exactly it works? So here these are the 7 layers: physical layer, data link layer, network layer, transport layer, session layer, presentation layer, and application layer. So this last 7 process: application, presentation, and session, these layers are called as upper layer or software layer. So in this layer only the user will work. And the other layer, the fourth layer, is called as transport layer. So it is also known as heart of OSI layer. So in this layer the data will be transported. The remaining 3 layers, network and data link and physical layer, so this is called as lower layer of the OSI model or hardware layer. Okay, so each layers has a different processing function, so we are going to know in detail. So application layer. So application layer is responsible for providing networking services to the user. Okay, it is also known as desktop layer. Identification of services is done using port numbers. Ports are entry and exit points to the layer. So what exactly it is explaining means, for example, you are using a browser. Okay, so in browser you are trying to access a website. So when you try to access a website, it will have a port. Okay, not only browser. For example, if you're trying to upload any data, so it will be like FTP. If you're trying to access your bank website, it will be in HTTPS. If you're trying to access your emails, it will be in SMTP, IMAP. Or if you're trying to take a remote server, it will like virtual RDP. So every application, every software will have a port numbers, and that port numbers will be updated in application layer. Okay, so total this number of ports are available, 0 to 65,535. So these are called reserved ports, and these are the open client ports which we use. And every application will have a different set of port. For example, for FTP we use 20, for FTP control we have 21. If you are using Linux, for SSH to log in remotely, we will be using 22 port. If you are accessing email, we have 25 port. If you have a domain server, we have 53 port. So every these are all called applications, and for each and every application we have different set of ports. Okay, so in application layer, so whenever a user access any application, it will be represent like this. So application will treat it as a data, and that application port numbers will be represent as a form of data, and it will be moved to presentation. So when it move to presentation layer, what exactly it happens? So upon arrival at the receiving computer, the presentation layer translates the data into an acceptable format usable by the application layer. It is responsible for converting data into a standard format. So here application will be receiving the data and it will be in the form of ports, right? So presentation layer, what it will do is it will help the user, the destination computer, what it will do is it will convert this data port numbers into a standard format. Okay, so the data can be like a JPEG image or website HTML or a MP3. It can be any format. So the presentation layer will convert the data. So these are the following tasks which are performed at presentation layer. It will encode and decode encrypt and decrypt, and it will compress and decompress. So these are the following tasks which will be happening in the presentation layer. The next layer we have is session layer. Again, the presentation layer, once it will convert, it will move it to the session layer. It is responsible for establishing, maintaining, and terminating the session. Session ID works at a session layer, like providing authentication, permissions, and session restoration. So in this layer, this following process will work. RPC, Remote Procedure Call. SQL, Structured Query Language. NFS, Network File System. So when you access a shared folder, it will be working in NFS format, and when you're trying to run in a database, it will be in SQL, Structured Query Language. So this layer will be following protocols, or this following applications or query will be working in session layer. So after moving all this data to a transport layer, so it is responsible for end-to-end connectivity, okay, from source to destination. So the main important protocols in transport layer are TCP, IP, and UDP. Protocols are best known protocols which works in transport layer. It is also known as heart of OSI layers. So these are the following tasks which are performed in the transport layer. Identifying service. It identifies the service request. It identifies the protocol. Multiplexing and demultiplexing. Segmentation. So segmentation, what it will do is it will divide the data into small parts to transport. So small parts, when I say small parts, it will be like dividing the data into packets. For example, a computer A sending the data to computer B. For example, hello, how are you? So data will be divided. Okay. Then sequencing and reassembling will be done. Then it will be represented in sequence wise by mentioning the header and tail details, and these details are attached to packets with divided data. So here, when you send the data like this, the data will be divided into packets. But when it transports, it will be not in the sequence wise. So what sequencing and reassembling will do is, it will attach the numbers. It will attach the sequence like this. Hello, how are you? It will give 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it will be given the sequence number to the packets. Then the data will be sent in the correct way, arranged in the correct way. Next we have is error connection. For detecting corrupted segments, lost segments, out of order segments, and duplicated segments, error control also includes a mechanism for correcting errors after they are detected. So here, for example, the data is sent here. So segmentation, error connection, what it will do is, if there is any missing packets, it will check. So again, it will request the data again. So once it gets the missing data, missing packet, the data will be forwarded. Next we have flow control. So it will control flow of data packets sent and received and acknowledge confirmation. If destination server receives 4 packets instead of 5 packets, it will update the source and request for the missing packet. So what exactly it means is, for example, if the source is sending 5 packets and the destination is receiving only 4 packets, in the flow control, it will check and acknowledge, and it will request the missing packet again. Next we have network layer. So network layer, it is responsible for providing best path for data to reach the destination. Logical addressing works on this layer. Router is a network layer device. So router works in a network layer. So router will choose the best path to transfer the data. Okay, so it is divided into two parts, routed protocols. So here the examples are IP, IPX, AppleTalk. These are the protocols. So we have more. So this is routing protocols. Okay, now this is routed protocols: RP, IGRP, OSPF, EIGRP. So data will be transferred in packets and each packet will have source and destination details. So this is a packet and it will have a source and destination details attached to it. So when a router transfers the data, so it will choose the shortest path to transfer the data. So that is what explained here. It will choose a logical addressing. So this is a source server, this is a website, and here we have multiple routers configured. So it is going to choose the best path to open the website. That is the work of the network layer. Next we have data link layer. So data link layer is divided into two sub layers. One is called LLC, logical link control. It talks about WAN protocols. For example, PPP, HDLC and frame delay. So this layer works in the WAN protocols. And MAC, media access control. It talks about the physical address. It is a 48-digit address which is hexadecimal number. So this address will be present on your network card. It is also responsible for error detection. Devices working on data link layer are switch, bridge, NIC. So in network layer we have router working, right? So in data link layer the switch and bridge and NIC card, physical network card will be working. So here this is source A machine and source B machine and this is the IP address, and every computer, every network card will have a MAC address. It will be like alphanumeric number, 12 digit number. So when a data is transferred, if anything is missing, the details are not correct, then it will show a error detection. Then it will request the data again and it will correct it. The last layer we have is called physical layer, and it is responsible for electrical, mechanical and procedural checks. Data will be converted into binary. It means 0 and 1. Data will be in the form of electrical pulses. If you are using twisted cable, I mean to say Cat5 cable or coaxial cable. Now currently we are using Cat5 cable or Cat6 cable, LAN cable. Okay. But in case if you are using fiber optic cable, the data will be transferred into light. So devices working in this layer are hub, repeaters, cables, modems. So when data get transferred from the physical layer, the data will be transferred into binary format like 10100001. It will be like this. So this is our OSI model. Let me zoom out. So from application, the data will be transferred into presentation. Again, it will be sent in the same order, data. From data to session. Again, session will also send the format, the same format, data. From data, the transport will divide the data into segmentation. Then it will move to network. So network will change the data into packets. Then it will move to data link. Then it will change the data into frames. The frame will go to the physical. Physical will change the data in packets into bits. Frame into bits. Now here we have source and destination machine. So here application. But when it comes to destination B server, the data will be moved in reverse wise. Okay, the physical will get the bits, data link will get the packet, network will get the segmentation, transport will get the data, session will get the data, presentation will get the data, again the application will get the data, then user should able to read the data which is sent by the source server, source machine. So this is about the OSI model, guys. Hope it helps you. So thank you for watching and please like, share and subscribe.